The elephant that wouldn't leave once. There was a young elephant who grew up in what seemed like a safe and happy environment. As a baby, it was tied to a sturdy post with a thick chain, but it didn't mind. The chain didn't feel like captivity, it felt like protection. The little elephant grew up surrounded by familiar sights, sounds, and routines. It was fed, it was cared for, and it felt safe. The chain that held it to the post wasn't questioned. It was simply part of life, a boundary that the elephant trusted was there for its own good. But as the elephant grew older, it began to see things differently. It started noticing things it hadn't seen before. Harsh handlers, days without enough food, and bruises from the whip. The safe place it once knew was no longer safe. It was no longer happy. The elephant's heart ached for something more, something freer. Still, it stayed. Why? Because the chain it once trusted had conditioned it to believe that leaving was dangerous. The handlers whispered lies into the elephant's ears, saying, "Out there is nothing but pain. This chain is here to keep you safe." The once protective chain had now become a shackle, but the elephant didn't see it that way. It was too afraid to admit the possibility that freedom existed beyond the boundaries it had always known. Even when the chain was removed, the elephant didn't run. It had been so deeply conditioned to believe that safety existed only within its small, restricted world that it couldn't imagine life beyond it. The open field before it might as well have been a cliff's edge. For many, the story of the elephant reflects their current state. The endless cycle of explaining away, justifying, silencing your conscience, and fearing life outside of your current state keeps you frozen, outwardly giving, yet inwardly dying. Over time, this way of living sears your conscience to the point where you become just like those you once questioned. But it doesn't have to be this way. Remember what started this journey, a desire to know and love God, at least I hope. That destination is still within reach, but only if you're willing to face a reconstruction, a rebuilding of faith rooted not in man's opinions, but in God's word. Are you willing to open the scriptures and see for yourself the truth of what Christ preached, outside of what people say? Are you ready to take that leap of faith, to let go of the false security provided by man, and cling instead to the eternal security found in God? Healing is possible, but it won't happen while you remain within the walls of spiritual imprisonment. Freedom begins when you step out in faith and surrender to God's truth and His Son, Jesus, the narrow way, the truth that shatters Satan's lies, and the life we are called to embody. We love you and are praying for you.